He has spent his life killing the creature I have devoted mine trying to save. He has made an enemy out of the one predator I embraced as family. He stands for everything that I attempt to reverse in the next generation. Infamous self-proclaimed human savior and shark hunter of Miami, USA. And for one day, my personal host to the world of shark hunting. This is my day with Mark the Shark.
Hey Mark, it's Madison. I emailed you earlier today. I'd be the Australian shark conservationist. I don't know if that helps.
Oh yeah, that helps. Yeah. I'm coming back in right now, but tell me what you want to do.
I was just thinking a sit-down interview.
I mean, I've done 1,000 interviews before, and I usually do them on the boat, but we can probably do it on the boat.
Mark the Shark, universally known amongst environmentalists as a disgrace, known to fishermen as a hero. He started out working as a police officer and then became a firefighter, and now Mark has been professionally fishing since 1976, running his charter business from Miami, which includes clientele of celebrity stars like Will Smith and Robert De Niro. Mark has been credited for capturing more sharks on rod and reel than any human being on the planet. By his own estimate, he has killed at least 100,000 sharks over the course of his career. To me, Mark was not just a fisherman, but had a passion for death in general. He states, "I tell people that I've hunted 20,000 sharks, but that doesn't include the pregnant ones I've fished." He remains proud of the babies he's found inside the bellies of pregnant females he's killed. I joined Mark on a fishing charter with 3 customers and spent the day on his boat. It didn't take long before they caught a shark.
It's hard to go that way, then you go back.
They had caught a scalloped hammerhead, but as they brought it into the boat, it was attacked by another shark and bleeding badly. Mark decided to show me his compassionate side and release the shark.
Want to help let him go? Yep. Awesome. Don't kick it. Ready, Mark?
Later that day, I spoke to a scientist who had done extensive research into the mortality rate of fish sharks. He said given the species, and the injuries, and the amount of time out of the water, there is no way that shark would have survived. I have only ever seen scalloped hammerhead in the wild, twice.
Fire away.
You ready,
Shark
Greg?
Girl Madison.
I'm a little surprised you agreed to this interview. Do you do a lot of interviews with conservationists?
I share.
A share? You do? Why are you so okay with letting me on your boat?
Well, maybe make you and people like you a little bit more educated of what really goes on in the real world.
What goes on in the real world?
Oh, you keep asking me questions, you're going to find out.
So I came on the boat yesterday.
Yep.
We caught a scalloped hammerhead, which are endangered, but you're allowed to catch when you're 3 nautical miles offshore.
They're endangered?
Yeah.
As, for who?
Scalloped hammerheads on the
They are?
IUCN red list. They're listed as endangered.
Endangered?
Yeah.
You think just because they're on some list that makes them endangered?
They're not?
If they were endangered, how come I can catch 10 a day?
10 a day?
Yeah.
Wow. Because you actually are involved in research, aren't you?
And whenever somebody wants a specific shark for research, I obtain a permit and bring the animal to the researcher to obtain valuable data.
So you actually get permits from marine biologists and stuff to do stuff?
Over the years, plenty of them.
Would you ever come diving with me? Would you ever consider getting in the water with a shark?
That will be a challenge.
Yeah, why is that?
Karma.
Are you scared of sharks?
Scared? Out of the water? No. In the water? Respect.
Respect. Not respect out of the water, obviously.
Well, I do respect sharks. I actually love sharks. But
You love sharks. Yeah.
I love to catch them for people who've never caught them before. You know, my people that hire me to go out and fish, especially for sharks, mostly have never even seen a shark up close and personal in real life, other than watching, Shark Week. So they come out with expectations of actually getting an adventure and seeing something that they have never seen before. So it's quite, entertaining.
And what, they don't want to go diving? Would you ever take people and put them somewhere where they could see sharks alive?
And put them in harm's way? No.
Thousands of people do it around the world each day and don't get bitten. I've never been bitten.
Well, your time will come.
My time will come? You reckon I'm going to get bitten by a shark?
Eventually, it's just not a matter of if.
I think it's more likely that I'm going to fall over in your office, trip over a jar of baby sharks,
And get stuck by a stingray
and get
tail.
impaled by a jaw. Or a stingray tail.
It's a better possibility than that, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Tell me something, is it really good for your business when shark attacks happen?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My phone goes crazy.
Wow. I'm reading some of the comments on your Instagram the other day. Someone even said you look like a blonde version of Quint from Jaws. I totally see it, yeah. Someone said we need to introduce a federal ban on shark fishing tournaments, but that wouldn't stop you.
I agree with that.
You agree with that?
Sure.
You have a little Mark the Shark action figure.
Oh, where'd you find that? That's old.
Do you think I could use this as a voodoo doll?
Yes, you could. You want to stick needles in it?
Do you think it would work like that?
Jaws is a classic movie. I mean, if Jaws, the movie, was filmed from my boat, it would have been a 10-minute movie.
You know the shark in Jaws is plastic, right?
Bruce.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to clear that up, just in case you were going to go out and try and catch him.
There.
Tell me about the negative comments on your Instagram, Facebook, the hate mail you get from my buddies. Does that ever get to you?
No, I think it's kind of amusing, actually.
It's not the way to go about it, is it?
Well, no, I mean, why you attack me personally and my family and everything else? It's crazy. I mean, these are animals, and,
Yeah.
and we do so much good as far as tagging and as far as research that's overlooked so many times by the same people who leave bad comments.
On Mark's website, he states that his amazing life has been dedicated to catching and studying sharks, many of which have been a great benefit to science. He clearly has a great knowledge of these animals.
Do you know a lot about sharks you catch?
I try to. I learn something every day.
Pop quiz. What's the scientific name for a tiger shark?
Oh, you got me there.
Scalloped hammerhead.
Safina, what is it, Luini?
Spirina luini.
Yeah.
Oh, you almost had it.
Yeah.
Thresher shark. Nurse shark.
No, I don't know too many scientific
Come
names.
on, you can't kill something if you don't know anything about it.
Because I don't know the scientific name? Come on.
I've got this little picture here of your boy, who was quite adorable. What's his name?
Maverick.
Maverick. With this gigantic tiger shark. How old is he in this photo?
That was 9 months ago. 9.
Do you want him to follow in your footsteps?
If he wants to.
If he wants to? When he's old enough, would you let him come diving with sharks with me?
That's up to him.
That's up to
I'm
him.
sure he would.
You reckon?
He's fearless.
Yeah? Do you think by the time he's old enough, as old as you are now, do you think there'll be lots of sharks left?
If we stop commercially fishing for him, yes.
And you do make an impact. You catch a lot of sharks, and a lot of people would say that you're contributing to them disappearing off the face of the earth, and it's sad. It's sad that there's less in the ocean.
I think you're giving me a lot more credit than I deserve. One person.
You don't think one
Taking
person
a few
can make a
sharks
difference?
a week doesn't make an impact on, say, commercial fishermen. It would take metric tons daily.
Mark fends off any suggestion that he is a significant threat to sharks. He blames the commercial large-scale fishing operations for the decline in sharks and the real damage. Yet data collected by NOAA stated that recreational landings of large coastal sharks outpaced commercial catches for 15 out of 21 years, between 1981 and 2001, with recreational anglers catching 12 million sharks, skates and rays in 2004 alone. So the recreational fishing Mark defends has outfished commercial fisheries.
Well, there's so many sharks around. To take a few from a species that never even going to feel the difference of taking a few thousand here and there. I have saved humans by killing sharks, yes.
Yeah?
No question about that.
This is pretty intriguing. There was a photo on your Instagram of a tiger shark, and you tagged yourself at the Turtle Rehabilitation Center. And you said saving one turtle at a time because you'd killed a tiger shark. Is that something you truly believe?
Just about 90% of the tiger sharks that I've caught over the last 40 years have some parts of turtles in the stomach.
Right, so you're not a shark hunter, you're a turtle savior.
I'm a conservationist when it comes to turtles.
You're a turtle conservationist, of course.
Turtles.
Yeah. So, what do you think about studies, for example, like the one in Western Australia that have shown the predation on turtles from tiger sharks force them to move around and not exhaust the one seagrass bed so they don't ruin their own food source. So without predation from tiger sharks, turtles could starve. And other research that shows tigers as the apex predator having a huge impact on the animals that they eat and their own survival. What do you think about that?
Where is this at?
It's a research paper. I can send it to you if you want.
I'd like to see it.
I'll email it to you.
And where is that?
In Western Australia.
Okay. Where are you now?
I'm in Miami.
Okay.
So it doesn't apply?
No.
Completely different set of rules. Sharks here just carry guns and...
Sharks here eat turtles.
Yeah?
All the time.
But they're apex predators here.
Yes.
They impact the ecosystem.
I think everything does, right?
What would it take for you to stop?
One thing. Pay me.
Pay you?
Show me the money.
People stop coming to pay you to go on trips and catch sharks? I think one day people will look back on people like you and just, it'll be this, like slavery owners, like this prehistoric archaic thing that doesn't happen anymore.
Sharks,
Yeah. You think?
I'm a dinosaur, no doubt.
Yeah.
I'm the last guy left.
I am not defending Mark. He profits from the death of sharks. But he's not the only one. It's worth taking a look at ourselves, because if you buy fish without being aware of its origin or catch methods, you are contributing to fishing industries that have a bycatch of sharks. When you open a can of tuna, you are feeding money into a legal longlining fishery that catches thousands and thousands of sharks as bycatch each year. When you eat meat, you could be paying for an animal that has been fed fish meal, a dried food source made from seafood. A third of the world's seafood is caught just to feed livestock, and sharks are bycatch in this process. NOAA has recently opened up the commercial fishing of sharks and have allowed fishermen to take 36 hammerheads a day, amongst other species. He has been responsible for the death of far too many sharks that we will never see in the oceans again. He is an individual who has caused so much destruction, single-handedly. But he is an easy enemy, because we can see him. Don't let this distract you from the industries killing sharks at your doorstep. People ask me if I hate Mark. The truth? I cannot afford to, because change doesn't arise from hatred. People like Mark will always exist, but their place in history will not. That is reserved for the people in the water, and long after he becomes a symbol of our past, others and myself will still be inspiring people to take a higher path towards the animals we fear. Even if shark hunters are telling the truth, and sharks are evil, unstoppable monsters, does that warrant the death of a few? Or is this a foundation for shark hunters to pursue a fake career as a hero? Because sharks are not an enigma. We know a lot about them. But it's people like shark hunters that stop the education and reinforce the fear. And they are not saving us by killing these sharks. They are placing a band-aid on a fear we need to embrace and address with knowledge. Sharks are not aware that they are our enemy. They are not invading our territory or seeking dominance over our place in the food chain. They earned that dominance long before we were here. This war we are fighting is against no one but ourselves. And the shark hunters who place themselves on the front line do not understand this enemy. They do not defeat this enemy. They do not help protect us from this enemy. They created this enemy out of something that needed to be an ally.